Okay, it's time for some homework help, so let's get started. First one says find the quotient, so we have to divide these mixed numbers. Remember, the first thing you need to do is make sure both numbers are fractions. Right now they're improper, and we need to make sure we make them, or right now they're mixed numbers, we need to make sure they're improper fractions. So I'm going to take 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 is 9. That means it is 9, and the denominator stays the same. Still division. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So it's 9 this time over 4 because the denominator stays the same. Now, the next thing we need to do, since it's division, is keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep it 9 halves, change it to multiplication, and flip it to 4 ninths. Now we want to do some bow tie reducing here. So remember, my favorite reducing is the 9s because they divide by themselves and change to 1s. 2 goes into itself once, and 2 goes into 4 twice. Now all we do is multiply our numerators. 1 times 2 is 2, and our denominators. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 over 1 is 2. So your answer to the first problem is 2. Don't forget, make sure they're both fractions before you do anything else. In the second problem, it says what percent of 80 is 16? So this is going to be a percent proportion. Remember our formula is percent over 100 equals is over of. So it says what percent? Well, we don't know, so it's going to be x over 100 equals is over of. Well, the is word is 16. The of word is 80. Now, before we solve, I know 100 doesn't go into 80, but I'm going to do a little bit of reducing. I'm going to take, because we have this whole fraction, the 16/18ths, we have both the numerator and denominator, I'm going to reduce those. Now, remember, you can type that into a calculator to reduce it, or you might know that 8 goes into both numbers. So 8 goes into 16 2 times. 8 goes into 80 10 times. Now you could reduce it again, but I don't need to because check this out. You go from 10 to 100, what do? Well, you multiply 10 times 10, right? So I do the same to my numerator, 2 times 10, and I get 20. So my answer is 20%. By the way, you could, I didn't tell you this, but it says what percent of 80 is 16? So we want to know what 16 out of 80 is, right? Well, if you divide that, 16 divided by 80, you get 0.2. And if you deep it, move your decimal twice to the right, you'll get 20%. Same thing. So anyway, I hope that helps. And if you have any other questions, ask me tomorrow in class. Thanks.